Hello, beautiful people. Welcome to another episode of the Astro Wanderer. The sun is out. I'm in Edinburgh, Scotland. I've got my cup of chai tea with the Scottish flag. That's so funny. I'm staying um, in a place taking care of a lovely cat that you might see coming into the videos. And I'm coming today to talk a bit about the houses in astrology. I know so many of you have asked like more information about this. And today I want to go and give you a rundown of all the houses, what they represent, what they mean, and all of that. But also I will let you on a secret on how to really embody the energy of the houses. Because when you do that, your life will change. But before we go into that, this is truly my last invitation for you. If you really want to use astrology in your day to day life as your compass, I truly invite you to join my program. We started with the kickoff call last week, but you still have this week to join if you're watching this when this episode airs, before we really start with the curriculum and the call. What is it about? It's really a 3 months program where we really dive into astrology and astrocartography, not like only to know your birth chart, to know where the lines goes, but to really embody this energy. Because as I shared in the previous episode, if I'm here right now, right here in Scotland, it's because I was able to embody the energy of my transits and to trust that the universe wanted me to come here for a reason. So I want you to be able to use astrology as your compass, not just knowing your chart, but living it. And I'm so passionate about this work, about helping people to embody the astrology, not only know the astrology. So if that's you, make sure to check the link in the show notes or on YouTube if you're watching there. And if you're watching there, make sure to subscribe there so you don't miss any episode, you don't miss any rituals, and you don't miss all the fun. So subscribe on YouTube, follow on whichever podcast platform you are listening this to, and comment if you're on Spotify, if you are on YouTube, comment, let me know if this episode resonates, what you're taking away from that, and if you have any episodes, any topics that you want to learn more about, I'm open to your suggestions. But before we go into the episode, another thing, because this weekend it's the second eclipse. If you missed the episode on the eclipse, I will link this in the show notes, but you can go back and re-listen to that. But we have a second eclipse on Sunday, which is the new moon solar eclipse. It's the second of it's a continuation, let's say, of the eclipse that we had on the 7th. And I'm hosting an event to help you tune into the energy of this eclipse, to help you like end the eclipse season with intention, with confidence. So if you haven't done it yet, because maybe you are in my dreamers letter, go sign up for the event. It's happening on Sunday, the 21st at 3 p.m. UK time. So I hope to see you there. But now, let's take a sip of your favorite drink together. Let's take a breath and go into this episode. All right, all right. So I'm so excited to talk about the houses in astrology because not many people talk about it, and it's such an important thing because we talk a lot here on the um really all the big three. We talk about the rising sign. We have talked about many things, the progress moon and all of that. But all these placement and all these transits fell into a house in your birth chart. And if you don't know what the house are in your birth chart, so I invite you to go on astro.com, get your birth chart. It's a wheel, it's a circle, and then you might notice that it's divided into 12 pies. They are not the same. Each pie can be like a little bit smaller or bigger. Those like slices of the pie, these are the houses in astrology. They go from 1 to 12, like the 12 signs, the 12 zodiac signs. And each house, it's actually like embody this energy of the zodiac sign. And it's very important because, as I said in the Big Three episode and in my freebie about the Big Three that you can get in the link in the show notes as well, the house like really gives you, excuse me, gives you the energy. It is a deeper step into understanding but also embodying the energy. For example, the most important house in your birth chart is the one where your sun sign falls, because that gives you the theme of your life. But all the other houses are important as well. And even though you might not have any placement in certain houses, the energy is felt anyways. And in a while, I'm going to tell you the secret on how to embody and feel the energy. But first of all, let's have a rundown on all the houses in the birth chart, what they represent, and then we will go into how to embody the energy. So first of all, we start for the first house. The first house, it's also ruled by Aries, which is the first sign in the zodiac. This is like really the start, the beginning. It's about yourself. It's about your personality. It's about your body, your appearance, your self-esteem, your independence. This is really the house of self. This is really important because we start from ourselves. So the first house has this energy of Aries, the house of self. Then we move into the second house, which has a little bit more a flavor of Taurus, and it represents the safety, the possessions, money, what you value, the like what you value in terms of like your values, your life, but also your possessions, what makes you feel safe, your worth, because money and self-worth are intertwined. So this is really the house of like possessions, your values, your self-worth. Then we move into the third house, which has a Gemini flavor. And that's the house of intellect, communication. It's the house of your intimate environment, like your siblings, like your neighborhoods. This is about Mercury, again, communication and all of that. So we went from the house of self to possession and self-worth to communication. Then we move into the fourth house, the house of home. This is ruled by Cancer. It's a house of your family, of your ancestors. It's the house of the subconscious mind as well, because it's a water energy. This is all about home, roots, ancestors, family, and all of that. Then we move into the fifth house, which is about children, about fun, about that inner child within you, about creativity, romance, but not in terms of relationship. It can be, but it's before. How can you like feel good with yourself? How you can you romanticize your life? How you can connect to their inner child, connect to your creativity and fun. That's a Leo energy house. We move to the sixth house, the last house on the bottom side of the chart, which is more about self internals. And the sixth house, it's about your health, your physical health, your mental health, your daily habits, your routines. It's Virgo ruled energy. So wants you to take care of yourself first. And then it's also the house of service. We are starting to go on the top of the chart, which is more external about other people. So this is really like, okay, how can I fill my cup so then I can give to others? And then we move into the top of the birth chart, the top half. And that's about the outside world, about things that are external, like society, relationship, and all of that. And we start with the seventh house that has that Libra flair, and it's all about friendship, about partnership, about like harmony, finding the balance between self, that it's the first house, and relationship, and partnership, contracts, negotiation. It's really the balance in that area, and the house of relationships. We move into the eighth house, Scorpio ruled house. That's more like about how can you transform, how can you trust. It's about intimacy with other people. It's about, and you cannot have intimacy with other people if you don't trust and if you don't transform within and you feel safe to be able to be be intimate with other. We come back to the sister sign, which is Taurus, about safety. When you have that safety, then you can go into an intimate level with other people. Taurus was about money. This is about taxes, inheritance. Then we go to the ninth house, which is Sagittarius ruled house. This is about expanding your horizon. It's about pursuing other education. It's about philosophy. It's about being curious, about creating new beliefs, expanding your horizon. It's about travel, another way to expand your horizon. It's all about that. If Gemini was like how you communicate and how you really like express yourself, then Sagittarius, the ninth house, it's really how can you share, how can you expand that mind of yours. Then we get into the 10th house, which is the opposite of the fourth house. That was home. This is career. This is how you contribute to this world. This is about your reputation. You're ambitious. It's Capricorn ruled house. So after you feel that like fulfilled at home, what's your purpose? What's your contribution to the world? What's your career? Then we move into 11th house, Aquarius ruled house. And this is about community, about society, about like the external, about your aspiration, your dreams. It's about progress. It's also about technology, internet. All that is like beneficial to the collective, and also all that it's futuristic as well, because Aquarius, it's looking into the future as well. It's the opposite of the fifth house. It was your inner child, your creativity. Now you nurture that. Now it's time to go out in the community, in the society, and show yourself for who you truly are, your most authentic self. And then last but not least, we get to the 12th house. It's the end of the chart. It's the opposite of the sixth house, that being at service. Here it's about spirit, the universe, God, how you wanna call it. It's not being a service to the 3D world. It's how you can connect to the unseen, the unknown, the energies that you don't see. It's also about reconnecting to yourself, because you are a spirit, you are a spiritual being in a human body. So it's about coming back home to yourself. And that's the how the houses go. As I said in the episode of the astrology seasons as well, there is a divine order for the zodiac, that we start from self and you go back to yourself. So these are the houses. Everybody has this energy, whether or not you have a planet or a placement in there. And we're going through the energies with the astrological seasons. So I've had an episode all on like the divine calendar, the astrological seasons in a year, because we start again from Aries and we end in Pisces, and we are currently in Virgo season. So how can you apply it more to yourself with the houses? So you have the house system in your birth chart, and the rising sign, your ascendant, starts the first house. So, for example, for me, I'm a Virgo rising, but I'm a late degree. Maybe it's myself, it's not the best example, but let's say Virgo rising, your rising is 15 degrees Virgo or early degree Virgo. And so your first house will be Virgo. And then you move the second house will be Libra, and then you go Scorpio, Sagittarius, and all over again. So the first house, it's always like, as I said, the energy of self-body independence. So when your, let's say, year starts Not on your solar return. Yes, it does, because obviously it's when it's your birthday and it's all of that. But I truly believe, and that might be an unpopular opinion, that your like initiation, your year from self start on your rising sign season, on your first house, especially if you have an early degree that you can really enjoy that. Why am I saying that? Because I've been exploring that with a client, with a friend, with myself, that when you are living in your 12th house, for example, it's Virgo season for me. My Virgo, it's 28 degrees, so all Virgo, it's basically in my 12th house. And when you're reaching the point that, and for all the Libra rising here as well, because it's the same for you, when you are living in your 12th house, when the season in your 12th house, it's really a season of closing. And I've shared on my podcast before and on my Dreamers letter that this is really the end of a chapter for me. And I feel that after this eclipse season, which comes when Libra season starts, it's going to be the beginning. Yes, because Libra season rules my first house. So I know it might sound confusing, but really, if you look at your birth chart and you find out where the first house is, you can see this is the beginning of the year for me. This is where it starts all over again. And if you are in the middle of the chart, maybe this chapter of your life, this season of your life, it's about relationship. If you are in the ninth house, maybe this season of your life is about traveling. So I want you to go on your birth chart and locate where Virgo is in your birth chart, in which house. So you can see on the outside of the birth chart the signs, the zodiac sign, and if you go into the like inside, you see the numbers and you will locate the house there. For example, let's say now Virgo, it's in your sixth house, so you are in kind of in the middle of the year. Virgo season for you will be all about like reconnecting to that health, to that service, daily habits, because it's in your sixth house. For me, it's in my 12th house, so it's really about letting go, about connect back to spirit, connect back to myself. So do you see the difference? When you start using the houses and the season, not generally speaking, but connected to your birth chart, that when it's changed. And I saw with myself, I saw with one of my friends as well, we were both, she's a Leo rising. So for her, that it's a late degree like mine, Leo season was not that like, oh my gosh, fun energy, was very internal because was crossing her 12th house. So for her was more about reconnecting to herself. And now Virgo season, she feels like, my gosh, sorry. She feels like she came out of the shell and she can really start again. And I feel that in myself, I'm going through the Virgo season, through eclipse season as well, that it's hitting hard in my birth chart, but that's another story. And I feel like I'm reconnecting with myself, I'm reconnecting to spirit. And even if I'm starting things, because life is life in, and we cannot, like, unfortunately, like just live with our birth chart, because the 3D world, it's not like this. It's not like when we were living in tribes and it was different. But I can feel like this is the time for me to connect to myself. And then Libra season, it's when really I can come out of the shell. And I've been feeling so much this season, this year, like Leo season, it's in my 11th house. I was hosting event. I was out there. Cancer season was in my 10th house, and I was really focused on my business as well. Like I started travel during Gemini season. It's in my ninth house. Do you see like the how it works? I hope so, because it's really hard to explain when I don't have your chart in front of me. But again, if you want to like really go deeper and learn that in your chart and really learn how to embody this energy, come and join me. Come and join me in my program. That's what I'm gonna do. It's gonna be about learning more about your birth chart, of course, because maybe you are not as familiar to that. But then it's gonna be okay. Now we know that how can we embody that? How we can bring that in your day-to-day life. So that's my mission. So if you enjoyed this episode, you might consider also joining my program. It started, but we just had a kickoff call where I kind of explain a little bit like how the program is going to go, and I went deeper into the birth chart of the people that were there. But the real deal is starting this week with the first week curriculum, and next week with the first, like, let's say, call. So, yes, make sure to join me there. I would love to have you there. And if you have any episode, any questions, just let me know. I hope this was clear and give you a little bit an insight on how you can use astrology as your compass. And as always, my readings are open, so make sure to check everything in the show notes and leave a rating and review if this episode resonated with you. Like, subscribe on YouTube. That's really important because I can bring out this knowledge to other people. So, hope you enjoyed the episode. Peace and love.